Hello, dear student. How are you? I hope you all will be fine. I'm also fine. Thank you. Welcome to your channel. That is your channel AZ Science Group. Okay, today is lecture number 7 of Boron family. Lecture number 7 of Boron family. That is also called group 13. Also called group 13 are also called group 3rd A elements. Group 3rd A. So this is called boron family. In previous lecture I already compare you the aluminum and the boron, but in today lecture I will be show you one another points in this lecture, that is the diagonal relationship between boron, diagonal relationship between boron and silicon. What is meant by diagonal relationship? Diagonal relationship means that is the group of boron, that is the group of 13 that will contain boron, aluminium, gallium, thallium, indium and thallium. Also that here is the group 14th that contain carbon, silicon, germanium, that is Ge, that is Sn and Pb. These are the 14th elements, and this is the group 13. So this is called diagonal relationship that are in diagonal position. That is boron and silicon are in diagonal, gallium and germanium are in diagonal position, aluminum and germanium are in diagonal position, gallium and Sn are in diagonal position, and indium and lead are in diagonal position. So these are the diagonal position. Carbon and aluminum are in diagonal position. This is called diagonal position. I hope my point will be clear. So why we take diagonal position in this group only boron and silicon, not other? We concentrate only on boron and silicon. Why we compare this? If you have answer, please. Due to the following reason, these elements show diagonal relationship. Number first, due to the following reason, these elements show diagonal relationship. Number first, both have the same electronegativity, almost same electronegativity values. Almost same electronegativity values. Both have the same electronegativity value. That's why we can compare these both. So that's why we can take diagonal relationship between boron and silicon. Almost same electronegativity between boron and silicon. That is, boron has electronegativity 2.0 while silicon has electronegativity 1.8. Almost these are same in electronegativity. The another reason why we take diagonal relationship between boron and silicon, the another reason is that both elements have almost identical values of ionization energy. Almost both have same identical ionization energy. Yeah, the ionization energy of boron B3 plus has ionization energy 0.073, while the ionization energy of silicon plus ionization energy of silicon plus 4 has 0.074. Yeah, this is the electronegative ionization energy which are identical ionization, that both have show the same identical ionization energy. That's why we are taking diagonal relationship between boron and silicon. Okay, now First of all, we will take similarities between boron and silicon. I will show you that where boron and silicon both show have same behavior, will show same reactivity, will show same resistance, will show same solution. After that, I will show you differences between boron and silicon. Okay, let's start the topic. Here, first of all, I will explain you the similarity between where the diagnostic between boron and silicon show similar behavior. Number first, where show their resemblance? Number first, both boron and silicon are show non-metal behavior. Both show non-metal behavior, non-metallic behavior. Non-metallic behavior. So both have high melting points. Both have high melting points. High melting points. Both have high melting points. That is, boron has 2300 degrees centigrade melting point, while silicon has 1410 degrees centigrade. So this is very high melting points of both. Also high ionization energy. Both have high ionization energy. Both have high ionization energy, ionization potential. That is, boron is 8.3 electron volt. 8.3 electron volt, while silicon, the ionization energy of first ionization energy of silicon is 8.20 electron volt. This is the ionization energy that show both are same, and both show bed conductors. Both are bed conductors of heat. Both are bed conductors of heat and electricity. Yeah, both show same property here. Also, at normal temperature, both show at normal temperature bed conductor of heat and electricity. However, the conductance can improve as the temperature increases according to the heat consumption. Hence, both are semiconductor. So that's why we can consider both of them. We can and conclude both that both are semiconductor. So that's why both are semiconductor. Both are semiconductor. Due to at high temperature, it can conduct heat and electricity. So that's why we include both are semiconductor. They are bed conductor of heat and electricity at low temperature or at normal temperature. But will show semiconductor effect when heat or when high temperature are present. So the next point, both have nearly equal densities. Both have nearly equal densities. Both have nearly equal densities. That is, the density of boron is, the density of B is, that is boron is 3.30 gram per ml, while the density of silicon is 3.52 gram per ml. That is the that is the density of both. Both have almost equal density. To the next point, both have almost same electronegativity. Both have almost same electronegativity. That is, the electronegativity of boron is 2.0, while the electronegativity of silicon is 1.8. I already told you. Yeah. To the next point, both show boron and silicon both show allotropy. Both boron and silicon show allotropy. And I already explained you that what is allotropy. Allotropy is the property of the element, is the property of the compound. If the allotropy is the property of the element that show in two different states or in two different forms, that is either in solid, in amorphous form, in liquid, in crystalline form. Like some boron are also present in amorphous as well as also present in crystalline form. In crystalline they are very hard, while in amorphous they are in powder form. So both show allotropy. Both have boron as well as silicon. Both will have allotropic form present. Also, both boron and silicon do not form cation as their ionization energy is very high. Both do not form with cations is their high ionization energy. It is due to their high ionization energy. So that's why they do not form cation. To the next point, go to the next point. Most of the compound of boron and silicon are covalent. Both show same behavior here. Both of the elements show both of the elements of compounds, boron and silicon compounds, are covalent in nature. So go to the next point. Boron and silicon burn in air on heating. Boron and silicon are burn in air on heating and at forming and form stable oxides that is, the oxides of boron and silicon are B2O3, that is the oxide of boron, while SiO2 is the oxide of respectively. Both are stable oxides, so that's why here also both show same characteristics, same resemblance, The oxide, these both oxides are acidic in nature. These both oxides are acidic in nature. Both oxides are acidic in nature. These B2O3 and SiO2 are show acidic in nature. And these both can be combined with alkalis and forming borates and silicates respectively. The oxide of boron and silicon can combine with alkalis and produce and form borates and silicates. Both produce borates and silicates. Both show same property here respectively. For example, For example, that is B2O3, that is the oxide of boron. When they combine with sodium hydroxide, that is alkali sodium, because belongs from first group, it produce a 2NaBO2. That is the borate of, that is the borate. It produce Na2, not Na2, NaBO2. That produce NaBO2 plus H2O, 2NaBO2. Similarly, also silicon dioxide produce when they can react with the alkalis and produce Na2SiO3 plus H2O. So both can react with, both can combine with alkalis and produce borates and silicates respectively. I hope up to this point it will be cleared. So okay, now I'm cleaning the board to proceed the topic. If you have any confusion, if you have any question, you can ask me in comment section, as well as you can ask me in my personal WhatsApp or Gmail that I drop in description box. You can get from there. Okay, and also please subscribe my channel. It makes me feel happy that my students are supporting me. So please subscribe my channel and share this video, this lecture with your classmates, with your friend, so that they can also take advantage from the lecture. Okay, to the next point, that is 13th point. Both boron and silicon can combine with metal to form boride and silicide respectively. Both boron and silicon can combine with metals and to form boride and silicides respectively. For example, here is 2B. When they are react with 3Mg, it produce Mg3B2. That are the borides and silicides. Both are can combine with metals. Similarly, when silicon combine with 2Mg, it produce a SiMg2, or you can say that Mg2Si. This is the silicon compounds that can combine with metals. Okay, go to the next point. 14. Both do not directly combine with hydrogen. Both do not directly combine with hydrogen. However, both form number of hydrides. Hydrides are formed by almost identical minerals. After that, this hydride can be further combined with hydrogen. For example, that is Mg3B2. That is the that is the borides. Here I already told you, this boride can be attacked with HCl when there is concentrated hydrochloric acid, not considered dilute hydrochloric acid. When there is dilute hydrochloric acid, a mixture of boride formed. A mixture of boron hydride formed. Means purely boron hydride cannot produce, but mixture will be produced. Similarly, in case of silicon, silicydes. Similarly, for uh, dilute hydrochloric acid, also a mixture of silicon hydrides will produce. Yeah. So here to the next point, both show reducing agent behavior. Not show, both show oxidizing agent. Both can be reduced by strong reducing agent. Both can be reduced by strong reducing agent. For example, when we use LiALH4, that is strong reducing agent. For example, here is that is 4BCl3. When they are react with strong reducing agent, that are strong reducing agent, that will be reduce this boron. And we know that the definition of the reduction is loss of oxygen or gain of electron or gain of hydrogen is called reducing agent. So boron will be reduced, means boron will be gain hydrogen from the this reducing agent. So it will produce this, that is 3LiCl plus 3AlCl3 plus 2B2H6. This is the reducing agent. Boron are reduced, now boron gain hydrogen. I hope this point will be clear. Both show similar, yes. Silicon also show reducing agent behavior. It can also be reduced by strong reducing agents like LiAlH4. They will produce LiCl plus AlCl3 plus SiH4. This is the reaction of when both are both can be reduced by strong reducing agent. So go to the next point, sir. Boron hydride, that is borane, or that is this borane. This borane, when they are when the boron chloride, when the chloride of boron are reduced, so they produce boron hydrides, also called borane. And borane are the electron deficient compounds, while silicon hydrides are saturated compound. Only one difference, that is the silicon hydrides are saturated compounds, while boron hydrides are electron deficient compound. Yeah. Okay, go to the next point. That is number 16. Orthoboric acid, that is H3BO3, that is called orthoboric acid, and orthosalic acid form ester when treated with alcohol in the presence of H2SO4. Orthoboric acid. Orthoboric acid formula is H3BO3, that is orthoboric acid, and orthosalic acid. Salicylic acid, that is the formula of salicylic acid, H4SiO4. Both form ester when treated with alcohol. Both form ester when treated with alcohol. alcohol in the presence of strong sulfuric acid. In the presence of sulfuric acid, like for example, that is H3BO3 plus 3C2H5OH, that is alcohol. In the presence of H2SO4, in the presence of H2SO4, it produces C2H5 3BO3, that is also called triethyl borate. That is also called triethyl borate. Plus 3 H2O are produced. Also similarly for silicon, H4SiO4. When 4C2H5OH4 alcohol in the presence of sulfuric acid, they will produce, when they are treated, they will produce C2H5 4SiO4, that is also called tetraethyl silicate. Plus 4H2O will be produced. Here the vapor of triethyl borate burns, that is triethyl borate, that will be burned into green edge flame, that will be changed into flame. This is the also called qualitative test of borate. This is also called qualitative test of borate. That is very important, can be used for, can be asked in different tests, that is gate test, net test, and so on. That is quantitative qualitative test of boron, that can be also used here. So here go to the next point, that is 17th number. Halides of boron and silicon are hydrolyzed. Halides of boron and silicon are hydrolyzed. For example, BCl3 plus 3H2O, it will produce H3BO3, that is boric acid, plus 3HCl. Similarly, for silicon, SiCl4 and the halides of silicon, chlorides of silicon, in the presence of 4H2O, it will produce salicylic acid, H4SiO4 plus 4HCl, salicylic acid. Okay, these are the general diagonal relationship between boron and silicon. Now I am just cleaning the board for the remaining 2 points. You can take screenshot or you can rewind the video for noting. Okay, thank you. So go to the next point, that is 18th number. Both reacts with fused alkalis and evolve. Both react with fused alkalis and evolve hydrogen. In both cases, let's suppose that is 2 boron, when they are react with alkali, that is sodium hydroxide, it will produce 2Na2BO3 plus 3H2 will be evolved, 3 hydrogen gas will be produced, 3 molecule of hydrogen gas. Similarly for boron, Si plus 2NaOH, sodium hydroxide, or sodium hydroxide is also called caustic soda, plus H2O, it will produce Na2SiO3 plus 2H2 will be produced. two molecule of hydrogen gas will be produced. Similarly, go to the next point, that is 19 number point. Both can combine with carbon. Both can combine with carbon to form carbides. Carbon to form carbides. And it will be produced B4C and SiC. Both can produce carbides, and these carbides are very hard substance. Carbides of both are, that is both means that is boron and silicon, are very hard substance and can be used for cutting and abrasive purposes. These all are about diagonal relationship between silicon and boron. I hope you will be cleared. If you have any confusion, if you have any question, you can ask me in comment section. I will reply you, as well as you can ask me in my personal WhatsApp or Gmail that I put in description box, my personal WhatsApp number and Gmail address. Okay, and also please subscribe my channel. It make me feel happy that my students are supporting me. Okay, thank you very much. Very best of luck, my dear student. Very best of luck. Thank you.